Hello everyone, this is your tutor Jainam Patani and today we'll be creating Jumping Cat game. So let us start with the introduction of this platform. The name of this platform is Scratch and this left hand section, if you see over here, there are a lot many code. Okay, so this is basically known as toolbox, a box containing lots and lots of codes. Okay, what we'll be doing, we'll be putting this code over here. Okay, wherever I put the code, this section is known as workspace. Whatever the code I put, okay, if I want to see its output, I'll be seeing it over here in it is known as stage. From here we can put a lot many characters or sprite. Okay, and suppose I don't want this simple background, so I'll be putting background over here. From here I'm done with putting this. So today we'll be creating one game. The name of the game is Jumping Cat. Let's start with it. I'll be deleting this code. I'll be needing this cat. I'll be putting it over here to a ground level, and we'll start with the code. So suppose I want this cat. I don't want this cat to be in a stable position. I want to create a motion into it. So I'll be going to even and green flag clicked. Forever loop. The word forever means it has no end, infinite. So the code will be repeating. And if you see in its costume, there are two costumes. One is a stable one, standing one, and then the second is a running one. So what do I want? Whenever the green flag is clicked, I want to change its costume again and again, so it feels like that. Yeah, it is in motion. Okay, it is moving, it is running, but it is too fast. So I will be putting a wait for 0.1 second maybe, and let's see how it should work. I think it's working perfectly. Now what do I want? I want to scale down whenever the space key is pressed. Okay, so I'll be going to the events. I will be simply putting when space key pressed. So whenever the space key is pressed, I want this cat to jump. Okay, that means it will be going upwards and then coming downwards. So I'll be putting glide. The meaning of the word glide is moving from one place to another. Okay, I will be putting glide 2 times, and over here I will be changing my y-axis because the movement is up, it is moving upwards and downwards. That means there is a movement. Okay, so vertical movement, I will be changing my y-axis. Let's make it 0, and let's make this 1 second as 0.3. Same over here. Let's see how is it working. I think this is working perfectly. Over here, instead of 0, I can write down 20. Okay, perfect. Now what do I want? Okay, I can put also a sound effect. So let's put a sound effect. So I'll be whenever it jumps, it will play a meow sound. Perfect. Now what do I want? Now I'll be creating obstacles. So let's start with it. I'll be getting my obstacles. I'll be going to animals. I'll be clicking on beetle. Okay, I'll be naming it as obstacle. Now I'll be going to costumes. Okay, I'll be adding more animals over here. Okay, so I'll be going down and I'll be adding whichever I like. Well, let's add one fish. Let's add other sprites too. Let's add one bat. And last, whichever you want. Let's add this. Let's add this. Okay, I'll be just zooming it out. I'll be putting it over here. I'll be making its size as 50. I'll be adjusting it over here. Okay, also for cat, I'll be assigning it a position. So for that, we'll be putting a go to code, so that whenever the game starts, the position has been assigned. Okay, so if I change the position of the cat and I click on green flag, see, it has got over here. Now I don't want this obstacle to face rightwards, I want it to face leftwards, so I'll be simply flipping it horizontally. Same with fish and same with beetle. I don't want my bat to be on the ground level, so I'll be selecting it as a whole and I'll be making it move upwards with the help of up arrow key. I think this is perfect. Now what do I want? Now what do I want? Okay, so now what do I want? And now I'll be putting a moose. Okay, let's first understand that how do I want this option. Okay, so let's see how click on other obstacles. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, all these obstacles are placed perfectly. Now what do I want is, whenever the green flag is clicked, I want it to glide from one place to the other. That means I glide leftwards to the very end. So I'll be clicking on when green flag clicked. Okay, I'll be making it glide. Okay, or I'll be simply putting first let me assign a position. Assignment of position is go to, so it will be this position has been assigned. Now I'll be putting a forever loop because that code will be repeated again and again. In this forever loop, what I'll be doing is I'll be just putting a change x, because this is an horizontal movement, and I'll be changing my x by a negative number, so I'll be putting -5. Okay, -5 is still slow. Let's make it -10. Okay, now the obstacle is stopping over here, so let's put an if condition that whenever it stops at the edge. Okay, so what's the x position over here? So x position over here is -245. So instead of 50, I'll be writing -245. So I'll be writing if my x position gets to -245, so I'll be applying it the position again. So I'll be simply duplicating the go to position. I'll be deleting this and I'll be putting it over here. So now let's see how is it working. Okay, it's working perfectly. Okay, what else I want? I want it to change its costume. Okay, there are total 4 costumes, so I'll be putting next costume over here. Let's see how is it working now. Okay, so now this concept can't be used. Okay, so now we can use some other concept. Let's do that. So I'll be, instead of you making its x change by negative number, we can simply put a glide option. Okay, so over here what we can do, we can put a forever loop over here itself. Okay, in this forever loop, what am I saying is you have to glide. Okay, you need to glide from one place to another. So let's put that glide code. Okay, suppose it is -130. Let's make its x-axis as -200. Okay, this is working perfectly. I also want it to change the costume, so I'll be putting next costume. Okay, this is working perfectly. Now what else I want? Okay, I wanna write a code that whenever this cat touches the obstacle, I want my game to end. Okay, before that the cat will be avoiding the obstacle, it will be also jumping, right? So if it has avoided the obstacle perfectly, so now what do I want? I want my score to increase. So basically for that, first I'll be creating my variable. So I'll be making a variable score. Once I made a variable, I'll be writing the code that whenever the green flag click, that means whenever the game has been started, I'll be setting my variable. I'll be setting my score to 0. Now what do I want? Whenever the cat has avoided the obstacle, I want my score to increase by 1. So I'll be putting a forever loop because this is a continuous process. And over here what I'll be saying, wait for 1 second, because obstacle takes 1 second to glide. So after 1 second, I want my score to increase by 1. So I'll be simply putting change score by 1. So after every 1 second, the score will be increased 1, 2, 3, 4 perfectly. Now I have to write that whenever the cat touches the obstacle, I want my game to end. So what I'll be doing is I'll be putting a code whenever green flag is clicked. Again, this is a continuous process. I'll be putting a forever loop. Okay, now what? I'll be putting an if condition that if it is touching obstacle. Okay, so let's put the if condition. If it is touching the obstacle, then I'll be simply broadcasting a message. I will simply broadcasting a message that game over. Okay, I have broadcasted a message game over. Now what? Now I have to say that when I receive game over, then what? So I'll be simply saying when I receive game over, then I will be playing one sound. Okay, let's put that sound. Let's get the sound. The name of the sound is blues. I'll be going back to the code. I will simply saying place sound, it's in sound, start sound loose. I'll be also putting up a message that came over. Okay, and I'll be simply stopping everything. So I'll be going to controls, I'll be scrolling down, and I'll be putting stop, other scripts, and sprite. Same thing I'll be doing over here. In obstacle also I'll be writing when I receive game over, then I'll be stopping everything. So stop, other scripts, and sprite. Let's see how is it working. Let's maximize it and let's see how is it working. Okay, so this is working perfectly. I hope you have understood all the code, concept, and logic, and I also hope that you have enjoyed this lecture. So yeah, this is